The cost of destruction in last week's violent student demonstration at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology has been estimated at 1.6 million Ghana cedis. The University Relations Officer, Kwame Yeboah Jr., says the figure includes cost of items looted by some of the rioters.
The university put up a team to do the assessments, and at the end of it, a figure of about between 1.6 and 1.7 million cedis was put forward. Who is to bear would have to wait. As I speak to you now, the university has even started putting certain things in place. For instance, the vehicles that had their windows smashed or were destroyed, some of them are being repaired, even though it's not been decided who is to pay. So we believe strongly if the body is put together to investigate, definitely they would come out with who did what, who is to pay what, and all that. So we'll have to leave that to that body. I will say two. The items, facilities that were destroyed, including access control facilities in all the halls and into some of our buildings. And then items in the offices that were destroyed, glasses that were smashed, and all that. And then we come to vehicles of staff and the university that were also destroyed. Those ones constitute the figure I gave. But we also have another category where some people decided to just enter into people's cars that were being smashed or into people's offices and stole items. We are yet to take inventory of that. So it's likely that costs would also be added. So it's likely it's going to move up a bit.
Now, the Asantehene Otumfuo to the second, who is Chancellor of the university, is currently assessing the damage caused by the students. Professor John Owusu-Japong, the Vice Chancellor for the University of Health and Allied Sciences and speaks for Vice Chancellors Ghana. He was actually with the Otumfuo when he visited KNUST.
Oh, well, Vice Chancellors Ghana, we think that as there are lessons for everybody. There are lessons for everybody. You hear complaints on the sides of the students. They think that they are not being listened to. Probably as Vice Chancellors, we need to explore innovative ways of engaging students. But we do not entertain violence under any circumstances. I mean, if you feel aggrieved, we have laid down processes and procedures for addressing our grievances. So under no circumstances should anybody take the law into their own hands. And then also probably on the part of government, the speed with which the university was closed down to avert further damage to property and life, I found it very good. It was prompt action. Otherwise, nobody could tell what was going to happen. But beyond that, then we need to allow the processes to work. So that is what I think is clear for all parties to learn from this experience.
So Love FM's Kwesi Debra is with the team at the KNUST and joins us on the phone now. So Kwesi Debra, we know that it's been, the cost has been put at 1.6 million Ghana cedis. Do we know who is going to bear the cost? Did they say?
According to the URO, they have now set up the committee. And after the inspection by the Asantehene, the chief, one of the officials briefed us on what the chancellor is going to do. And from what he said he's now looking into it to, as it were, apportion the cost. So now I can't tell whether it's the student body which is going to bear the cost or the officials. So, but what we know now, they are now going to have a meeting, and then come out with the answer.
So Otumfuo himself today was the KNUST to assess things for himself. What exactly has he been doing whilst there on campus?
Yeah, he was just going around. First of all, he started with the Republic Hall and went to the transport department, where most of the cars which were damaged have been arranged. And also, he came to the Dean's office. That was also ransacked. So he came to assess the damage. Also going to the various street checkpoints to assess the extent of damage. So it was all about assessing the damage, and with the initial cost which have been put there, which is the 1.6 million, see how they are going to do it. So it's all about the assessment of damage today.
Okay. Obviously, didn't look too happy about what he saw, but what has he been saying?
Yes, maybe I got a bit of what he said. He didn't address us formally.
Okay.
He didn't address us. With the conversation he had with the Vice Chancellor, kind of a tete-a-tete, and also with the head of security, he wasn't happy at all. He was very surprised at the extent of damage, and he could not even imagine whether the students could have undertaken such a course. So he was very surprised. What I heard, the bit I heard from him, he was very surprised. At a point, he was speaking and also nodding, kind of shaking the head. So it was quite surprising to him.
Okay, so
couldn't ever imagine the extent of damage.
So has that meeting ended? That assessment and that tour of the KNUST, has that ended? Is he still on campus?
It has ended. We went to the Vice Chancellor's Lodge, and that's where they had kind of a grand meeting. That's the Vice Chancellor and also the various Vice Chancellors of public universities. And they had a bit of meeting, but as it were, we're not briefed as to what was we discussed there. But with what we were told, now they're going to take measures to address the whole situation.
But we know he has up until Friday to reconstitute the governing council. Has that process begun?
Absolutely. It's supposed to end by close of tomorrow. So everybody has been tasked to bring along the representatives, and government has also been tasked to do the same. So government has 4 representatives on the KNUST Council. So he's also supposed to bring the people by close of tomorrow. So that is what we've been told.
Okay. Thank you very much, Love FM's Kwesi Deborah, bringing us up to speed on that visit by the Chancellor of the KNUST. Also, that's the Asantehene Otumfuo State.